Oaks, who played in the Development League, and now starting Elton Brand, Michael Olowokandi, and in the backcourt, Eric Piatkowski and Jeff McInnes. The Clippers, who have been overshadowed by the Lakers for so many years, now sporting their own identity and blessed with a lot of young players, and Elton Brand right in the center of it, celebrating his 23rd birthday on Monday. The officials for tonight's game: Jess Kersey, Mark Wunderlich, and Scott Wall.
Well, this is an exciting type of a game. We have so many young players involved. Both teams rely on offensive rebounding, and the Clippers just keep coming at you with athleticism. When they come off the bench with Quentin Richardson and then also Darius Miles, two explosive scorers.
And the Clippers coming off the big road win at Minnesota Monday, and Hubie talked about how their bench is produced. They scored 54 points to their reserves in that game to lead the way. 6 in double figures, and the opening tip controlled by the Wizards.
I hope the toss is no indication of the game.
we get that out of the way early.
Yeah, there you go.
Now we smooth things out, so to speak. Chris Whitney at the point, guarded by McInnes, and Jahidi White posting up inside, and White against Brand, and Brand makes the block.
That's what we talked about in the open. See, young guys just don't get calls. He was hammered that time right across the top of the shoulder. It was a nice move.
McInnes, who has played exceptionally well for the Clippers, and an emotional personality. Now Elton Brand getting it in to Olowokandi. Brand again, and here is McInnes from the corner hitting, and Jeff McInnes coming off a double-double with 14 assists against Minnesota in the last game.
Yeah, that's just a case of a guy moving well without the ball, understanding the free spot-up spot.
And here is Whitney, fouled, and gets the basket as well. So Chris Whitney, who has been struggling from the field, will have a chance to put the Wizards into an early lead. The personal foul against McInnes.
Now tonight, Washington will definitely challenge the Clippers defense. They run beautiful down screens. They curl hard into the middle of the floor. Now your defensive two people that are involved really must talk and work together.
Whitney missing the free throw, and the Clippers and the Wizards tied at 2-2. Clippers coming in with a 21-10 record here at the Staples Center. And Hubie talked about how they've really improved on the road. And here is Olowokandi with the shot off the rim. Here's Hamilton.
Clippers are a great offensive rebounding team, but Washington takes care of the defensive board.
So McInnes, who was property of the Washington Wizards, was a free agent before being traded to Orlando for a brief time. Elton Brand's left-handed shot recovers the loose ball. Brand over Jahidi White, getting the basket and fouled as well.
Now Elton Brand is very good catching the basketball and facing and taking his man strong off the dribble. This is a part of his game which has definitely exploded. Now Washington, Doug Collins is using Jahidi White, his center, on Elton Brand because of the bulk. He wants to knock him around and play him physical. Well, let's see how he responds.
Elton Brand with the three-point play, and Brand, who was the first pick by the Chicago Bulls a couple of years ago, has 9 straight games in which he has double figures in points and rebounds. Here is Leitner wide open, and Leitner hits, and it's a 5-4 game.
Now that's meat and potato basketball. They love the screen and spot up. And if you double team the dribbler, Christian Leitner will make you pay.
Seeing enough of Leitner's heroic shot against Kentucky these days with the NCAA tournament getting underway, and one of the great shots of all time. Foul here is against Chris Whitney.
Oh, you're right about that, Dick. That was such an exciting game. Kentucky made the score. Everyone thought the game was over. 1 second, Leitner comes up big.
Here is Olowokandi, and he is double-teamed. Jahidi White defending, and it's tipped in by Elton Brand. So Brand now has 5 of the Clippers' first 7.
We showed you at the top graphic. Elton Brand is the #1 offensive rebounder in this league, averaging 5 a game.
Hamilton trying to keep control, and it's out of bounds, and the officials disagreeing, and they're going to have a jump ball because the two officials ruled both ways.
Yeah, Doug Collins is just shocked. He's pleading his case. Jess Kersey, the lead official, you know, he's just saying, hey, you know, rather than make a mistake, we'll call a jump ball.
It looked like it was deflected off of a Clipper player from Hamilton, but they will jump it, so it'll be Leitner jumping against Olowokandi.
Now, Washington has been involved in the last 4 games, very close ball games, right down to the wire. You're starting a 7-game road trip. This is going to decide whether or not you stay in the hunt. You are lacking Michael Jordan. You come out on the road here now, and you're going to fight for every call. The pressure is on the coaching staff to keep these young guys focused.
They're very crucial point by Doug Collins and yourself right here, and he knows that when Michael Jordan comes back, maybe not till the end of the month, their fate may be sealed by the time he comes back.
Oh, these 7 games, Dick, are very critical.
And Hamilton's shot deflected by Brand, and of course the Clippers took it, or the Wizards took it out of bounds. The Clippers with a lane violation on the jump. Here is McInnes with a runner off the glass, and the Clippers open up a 5-point lead.
Now, Jeff McInnes, a year ago, the Clippers took a chance, put him in a starting lineup. He averaged 13 points a game, led the league in assists to turnovers. Fantastic, almost 4-to-1. This year, he's right back, 15 points a game, and he's right up near the top of the league, assists to turnovers.
And the clock is running. The clock is wrong. They made a mistake with the clock. They gave the Wizards a new clock when it was running down to about 3, and the Clippers, and then the officials caught that.
Your eagle eye caught that before just cursing.
Well,
I like that.
Well, we have 4 eyes between the 2 of us watching all things in this game. So Alvin Gentry, of course, shaking his head, and they're going to decide how much time is on the clock. I would guess there'll be very little. 6 is what they decide. 6 seconds on the shot clock for the Wizards, who trail by 5. Here's Hamilton to Leitner, again wide open, but way off the mark. And here come the Clippers again. They're an exciting team these days. They have won 6 of their last 7, and Olowokandi stuffed it through, and the LA Clippers lead 11-4.
Now that was a great pass and a beautiful dribble by Jeff McInnes in setting that play up. Now this is just a great move. Now keep an eye on his eyes. He sees the trailer coming down. Now just watch. See, he sucks the defense to him, makes the shovel pass, way to send it down with authority.
But 9-2 lead, took their largest lead of 25-15 with a minute to play in the opening quarter. Michael Jordan had 10 second quarter points. The Wizards were able to trim that lead to 2. They were down by 2 at halftime and then took control of the game in the third quarter when Hubert Davis had 14 of his 16 points in the period.
Washington being badly out-rebounded early on here. They've got to do a better job, especially on the offensive glass. Get a couple of additional attempts. Nice shot there by Hamilton.
That stops a 7-0 LA run in the last 2 minutes. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier. First of 6 out west, and then 1 more up in Toronto. Wizards don't go back to the MCI Center till the 26th of this month. Piatkowski drives and scores. Eric Piatkowski in his 8th year from Nebraska, averaging 8.5 points. And is 6th in the league in long-range shooting, 46%. Leitner for Hamilton. Bump, no call.
That was a tough shot. Piatkowski was right there with him. Again, for transition that time. From a fast break basket, but Jahadi not really getting back well enough to get in front of Olowokandi.
Hamilton goes all the way and lays it in. Richard Hamilton, 2 of 5 from the field, has 4 points. Leitner 2 and Whitney 2. McInnes lost the ball and turned it over. Take another look at this slam by Olowokandi.
Well, nice. He's actually trailing the play, and Jahadi comes into the picture a little late.
Olowokandi just had his career high of 30 points on March 8th against Chicago. Clippers have won 3 in a row, all on the road, and the Wizards turned the ball over. Clip have made their last 5 shots. Olowokandi traveled and called by Mark Wunderlich.
I think we've, in talking with Doug Collins, and in fact, it's pretty much a given. You want to get somebody outside their comfort zone. So you want to push Olowokandi. If he's 8 feet away, you want to get him 10 or 12 feet away. Get them outside their comfort zone to hopefully minimize their effectiveness.
Leitner drives. The quickness of Courtney Alexander got that ball back. He drives. Alexander high off the glass. That would have been a remarkable shot had it gone. But it did not. McInnes kicks it out for Olowokandi. Olowokandi's jumper clangs. Whitney tips it and knocks it out of bounds. That'll give LA the ball with a new 24-second clock. Speaking with Doug Collins today, and you and I had an extended conversation with him, one of the keys, he said, to this game would be getting offensive rebounds for the Wizards.
Absolutely, especially on the road here. You want to give yourself a few more attempts.
Miss inside, and here comes Hamilton. Richard runs, pops, and hits. Beautiful shot.
And that's where Richard Hamilton is able to really utilize his skill and his strength, and that's his speed in open court situations.
Inside to Brand against Jahidi. Spins, nice move, reverse slam.
Well, that's a really tough move. You're not going to see many centers with that kind of move. Jahidi forced to guard Elton Brand, but he made a tremendous baseline spin.
Richard Hamilton did not play in the last game, and a pushing foul is called on Los Angeles. And it's called on Jeff McInnes.
And air ball, but here is Olowokandi with the follow.
What I like about his game tonight is the fact that he's shooting with both hands. Olowokandi can take the jumper right-handed, but he loves that jump hook with the left hand in the lane.
Kowski does a good defensive job on Hamilton that time, and quickly down court, and that's the Clippers' stock and trade. Quickly down court, Overton coming up with a 3, and the Clippers, with a 12-point lead, open up their biggest margin of this first quarter.
Yeah, Overton has been around. He's been with a lot of playoff teams. Guys pick him up because they know he can run a second unit for you, and he's had every experience. He can hit the 3 or take it off the dribble.
Elton Brand with his 3rd block shot of this first quarter, and Overton, feeling 3-point happy, fires it up, goes out of bounds, and a timeout with under 3 minutes.
And to do so, Doug Collins has brought in 4 new players. Popeye Jones, Teron Lue, Hubert Davis, and Tyrone Nesby to try to create a little energy here, and they do on that possession. Haywood's the only one that stayed in the game. Fans chanting Lou. Played in Los Angeles with the Clippers last year. Fires up a wild shot, and no good. Wizards shooting 33% from the field right now. Darius Miles in the contest for LA, one of those bright young stars we talked about. Brand, nice moves, fade away. How good was that?
Tough move there. Popeye did everything right. He stayed in front of him, deflected the ball a couple of times to try and disrupt his timing, but Brand just zeroed in on the shot.
He made about every move you can make without traveling. Wizards down 26-12. Hubert Davis, that pass knocked away and stolen by Quentin Richardson.
Well, they're very excited about that young man there. He is a ball of energy, averages almost 14 points. In fact, he leads the league in non-starters scoring, averaging about 13.7, but he's very effective for this team. Good job defensively on that last possession.
The guy that was the 18th overall pick season before last, after 2 years at DePaul, and Popeye Jones scores. And to get a player that good with the 18th pick is a wonderful find if you can do it. Richardson guarded by Nesby. Here's Overton. They go inside. Olowokandi misses. Less than a minute to play in the period. Washington down 28-14. Near steal. Nesby will shoot the jumper and hit it.
Well, Quentin Richardson went for the steal, and oftentimes when you go for the steal and don't come up with it, you create numbers for your opponents.
12-point Clipper lead. And Lou with a steal. Lou, no one's going to catch him. He cuts it to 10.
Pesky little player there. Gets down low. He's strong. So you're not going to just move him around.
And a foul call on Lou trying to get around the screen of Elton Brand.
Yeah, actually, he was trying to fight through that, and that's what coaches tell you they want you to do. But he used a little bit too much of this right forearm to keep Doug away. See, he creates that opening, and he's able to get through and not be hung up on the pick by Brand. Excellent replay from our crew here in Los Angeles. Lou again with a near steal, tight defense on Overton. Good job there. Brand knocked away by Popeye to disrupt that offense. Now takes the jumper, missed it. And that is the end of the first quarter. So the Clippers had a 16-point lead. The Wizards have whittled it down and are down by 10. Brand with 9 points and 6 rebounds, and Olowokandi 8 points.
There's Darius Miles from Elton Brand.
They love to run that for Darius. As soon as he comes in the game, they like to catch him from the right side of the floor going with a lob coming out of a timeout. Nice cut.
And coming right back is Tyrone Nesby from Popeye Jones. And the lead is down to 10 as Earl Boykins, the 5'5" backup guard, diminutive to say the least, into the game for the Clippers. And the ball knocked away by Tyronn Lue. Grabs for the loose ball. Boykins has it and puts it up, and it drops.
You love this young guy. When you remember Muggsy Bogues at 5'3", Boykins right there is only 5'5". But he has a great knowledge of the game, handles the ball well, keeps your second unit sprinting from circle to circle in transition.
You think he's that big, 5'5"?
Well, they say he's 5'5".
Here is Tyronn Lue, who looks like a giant next to Boykins. Miles got a hand on it. And a lot of acrobatic play. Haywood going up, and the ball batted away by the Clippers.
I tell you now, the Clippers are right there, third in the league in shot blocking. They get 7 a game. Not only do they have Olowokandi, Brand, and Brooks, but with this group, when they come out there with Richardson and especially Miles, they add shot blockers for their position.
They already have 9 points from their bench in this game. Minute and a half gone and a block. Miles got a piece of it on Hamilton's shot, and it's last touched by the Wizards. This is an acrobatic, athletic team, and fun to watch, UB.
Yeah, they're fun, but they really work hard. Now you see, here's a guy coming, leaving his man, coming across and blocking the shot. So when they bring in Richardson and Miles, you not only get points, you get the shot blocking as well as the rebounding, and they're both dynamite in the open floor.
And that is the 5th block by the Clippers. Here is Olowokandi with a great move. He has 10 points to lead the Clippers.
Yeah, you have to love that left-handed jump hook. There are a lot of big men in this league that can't do a thing with their left hand. This young guy is showing us some nice moves tonight.
He certainly is. And Hamilton is hit in the face. And finally a timeout. Miles inadvertently hit Rip Hamilton in the eye. And so the Wizards will call a timeout. No foul was called, and Hamilton trying to shake it off.
Transition to get easy baskets, and I think with Michael out, we have to do that because we don't have anyone in the half court who demands a double and triple team like Michael did, and he got people open shots. So we have to find a way to manufacture easy basket, and that's pushing the basketball, and turnovers is going to come with that.
Well, turnovers will come with it, and here's a steal by Tyronn Lue, but you can't afford the turnovers like they had in mass against Boston, and Doug Collins was talking to us about that today, and of course his team, they must value the basketball.
Yeah, I mean, it's so disruptive for your own offense. I mean, this is a team that is struggling trying to get some continuity on the offensive end, and when you constantly have those turnovers, it's very disruptive. You see Kwame Brown into the game now. Looks like Richard's okay.
Wizards were forced to call a timeout when Hamilton was hit in the eye, and no foul call. 14-point Clipper lead. Lue around Boykins, off the glass and in. Somebody set a pick on Boykins that nearly decapitated him.
1 minute he was there, the next minute he wasn't.
The disappearing act on the 5'5" Earl Boykins. Quentin Richardson taken away by Nesbitt. Up ahead to Popeye, who runs. Now he gives it to Hamilton. Richard across the paint, brings it out. Hamilton, guarded by Miles. Knocked away by Brand from Popeye, and the Wizards get it back with 7 seconds to shoot. And Sean Rooks checking into the game, his 10th year from Arizona, to replace Elton Brand. Popeye now is going to have to make a move. Goes the jumper up and hits the running one-hander.
That's not an easy shot either, let me tell you.
It's a combination hook shot and running one-hander, and
he's moving the whole time. Momentum is carrying him closer to the basket.
Cuts it to 10. Now Miles pumps one, no good. Popeye's there for the rebound. Lue pushes it up to Hamilton, no advantage. Rip tries the paint, now gets it out to Popeye. And the Wizards will set their half-court offense. Lue into the land of the Giants for Nesby. His long jumper, good.
That worked out well, but for a split second, Nesby went to sleep. You've got to keep moving and making yourself accessible. His man dropped off to help out on Lue. And Lue needed somebody to pass to.
Wizards have cut it to 8. And a foul on Kwame Brown.
A screen from Sean Rooks. Kwame Brown on a mismatch. And Boykins looking for the mismatch to help the Clippers. And here is Olowokandi open for the basket. He has 14.
Tonight's his night. You can see it.
And he feels it.
Oh, you can tell he's playing with a ton of confidence.
Especially if he doesn't come out.
Well, you know, his shot is not exactly a pretty jump shot, right? It looks like a little bit like a corkscrew, right? But it's going up and in.
Tyronn Lue kicked the ball out of bounds, so the Wizards turn it over, and with 7:21 to go, the Clippers maintaining that 10-point advantage. Rooks out, setting the screen, and on the switch, Rooks now shooting over Kwame Brown. Brown went to the guard and switched, leaving Rooks open.
Well, they tried to double-team the dribbler, and Boykins is so quick that instead of rolling, Rooks spots up. Now, that shot is there at both ends. Both teams are running the same play, and the spot-up man is open. You're looking for the rotation. The rotation is not there.
Earl Boykins committing the foul, and the Wizards will inbound. The Wizards have not only lost 4 straight, but 11 of 13 games. They have won only 3 games since the All-Star break. But Doug Collins was not dismayed when we talked to him before the game. He says, Michael Jordan is out. We know where the holes are, where the problems are. We have definitely built something this year.
Oh, they definitely have. There's no doubt about it. Key has been Michael. You can see tonight, once again, we have another sellout because Michael was supposed to be here this evening.
Well, this crowd has responded. This is the 16th sellout, surpassing 11 of last year by the Clippers. Popeye Jones again cutting the lead to 10.
Popeye Jones is just a terrific substitute player.
Boykins with a nifty move. So Boykins now gives the Clippers a 12-point lead.
Now you can see his value. Boykins is murder off the dribble. He's so quick, he gets himself open, and then he can knock in that mid-range shot.
That's Muggsy, the new Muggsy Bogues, so to speak. And
begun to force some turnovers from the Clippers.
Elton Brand back in for Olowokandi, but Popeye dragged the pivot foot. Nesby, and a foul.
The laughable Clippers anymore. Off of a Christian Laettner miss. Elton Brand, remember him? He was co-MVP Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago. He works to Jeff McInnes. Nice pass down low to Michael Olowokandi. Olowokandi with a jam. The Clippers take the early lead, and they never look back. The Wizards have been behind since the opening moments. This is the Farmer Bull, Elton Brand, who leaves Jahidi White behind, comes around with a clean reverse. Now, if you're Doug Collins and you're watching this, you're saying, man, we really need Michael Jordan out there on the court because it's going to be a long night for Doug Collins and the Wizards. They trail 42-30 that game in the second quarter. It's a long 7-game West Coast road trip.
Jump 5, and then the three-point shooting. He has come off the bench 14 times this year and has scored 20-plus points. That is a major stat.
Huge. So the Clippers matching their biggest lead of the game at 16. Etan Thomas has checked in for the first time. Thomas behind to Alexander, and it rims out.
They've got to get Alexander going in this game. In the 6 previous games, he's averaging 22, filling in for Michael Jordan, shooting 59%. Tonight, he has only had 3 shot opportunities. You've got to get him involved.
And he's still looking for his first field goal. And there is Olowokandi back in the game, and the three-point attempt by Richardson. So the Wizards down by 16 points with 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Wizards playing without Michael Jordan.
Nice.
And a pretty move by Courtney Alexander, who had emerged as a scoring threat. He has scored 20 or more points in 4 of the last 6 games, has 4 tonight.
The guy can score. Look, he led the nation.
As a scoring threat, he has scored 20 or more points in 4 of the last 6 games, has 4 tonight.
The guy can score. Look, he led the nation in scoring 25 points a game at Fresno State in his senior year. You know he's got a lot of talent. He has been buried here because of the minutes given to Michael Jordan and then Hamilton at the 2 and 3 positions. So there is very limited time for him. But now without Michael Jordan, you need a scorer. This guy has stepped in, and we told you, 22 points, shooting 59%, giving you 6 rebounds. He's an athlete. He's 6'5". He's got a good body and can take the ball off the dribble.
Coming up on the AT&T halftime report, Bob Lorenz, Kenny Smith, and special guest Derek Harper are in the studio with NBA scores. And game 1 of our doubleheader between the Kings and the Sixers. Kings have been struggling on the road. A very big game for them tonight in Philadelphia. The Sixers have been playing good ball on their own, of course.
Well, the major fact about Sacramento is they're right around the 500 mark on the road, where the other superior teams in the West all have major 20 wins, 8 or 9 losses on the road.
Hamilton hitting from the perimeter, and it's a 13-point lead. And Boykins back in the game in the final minutes with the jumper, and Laettner into the hands of Hamilton.
The Clippers are giving Washington a chance to come back here in this game. They just cannot seem to put together two successive tries.
Whitney missing from outside. He has not been getting a lot of open looks lately with Michael Jordan hurt. And Olowokandi picking up the personal foul. 1:03 remaining in the first half, and it has been the Clippers all the way, leading by as many as 16 and down to 10. There's a great play by Richardson, getting the pass. That's the quickness that this team has. Richardson with 7 off the bench.
See, that's sloppy. See, that was a sloppy pass, and just sheer hustle and determination got that steal.
Boykins pushes it up quickly. Thomas battles. Wilkins for the long jumper. No good. Tip up and in.
You know what makes Elton Brand so good is even though he's their leading scorer and obviously their marquee player, the offense doesn't have to run through him. He can be just as damaging to opponents with just his rebound.
And Brand called for a foul on Christian Leitner.
Odom, and they are playing great basketball as a unit.
Final seconds of the first half, and Boykin feeding Brand. And that'll do it. 58% was Jahidi White and Popeye Jones doing a sandwich number on Elton Brand, and Alexander getting the basket and the foul. Courtney Alexander, only his second field goal of the game, and again, the Wizards climb to within 11.
Now, this is one of the players that must get going here. Courtney Alexander, we told you, has the explosiveness. He's now 2 for 5 from the floor.
Had their largest lead in the second quarter of 17. Wizards stepping it up on defense a little bit, and Mark Wunderlich calls a foul on Popeye Jones, guarding Elton Brand.
But if you watch Popeye Jones, he's doing an excellent job of moving around, fronting Brand, but then slipping behind him, holding on to him, just doing little things to disrupt him.
Put the shot clock back to 14. It's now at 8. McGinnis driving inside, kicks it out to Piatkowski. Nice fake, pulls up and scores. Three-pointer for Eric Piatkowski, his 80th of the season. He's the 6th best three-point shooter in the league. Hamilton inside to Jahidi. Popeye, the short jump hook, too short. Candy. Jones the rebound and a loose ball foul on Washington.
A 13-point lead, and there is Tremaine Folks missing from outside. That's Folks' first field goal attempt of the game. He started at the small forward position, played 9 minutes in the first half. Hamilton getting away from Piatkowski and hitting.
Hamilton is really in sync tonight. He's reading his screens beautifully. He's getting into the middle of the floor and making the shot. Now, Tremaine Folks has done a terrific job on Alexander. He's in there because of his defense and his rebounding, not so much an offensive player.
And Piatkowski is pushed underneath.
Both teams working extremely hard. Alexander, tough shot, got it. Courtney Alexander, who did not play with Tremaine Folks, although they do know each other. Folks went to Fresno State as well. And Whitney called for a foul on McInnes. Second personal on C-Witt. Here's another look at it.
You can see him trying to apply the pressure, especially once Jeff picked up his dribble.
Chris says he got the ball, but Mark Wunderlich said you got him on the shoulder as he reached across. Long jumper, no good. Kicked out of the air by Folks. Goes up strong, and Jahidi gets the rebound. And he's fouled by Brand.
And the Wizards trying to get it to single digits. It's been a while since that's been the case. Hamilton, this is White with the follow, and it's a 9-point lead.
Now, that is only the second offensive rebound in this game for Washington. The second. And they finally got a score.
Piatkowski, Brand, Olowokandi. And here's Piatkowski, lost it out of bounds. A good pass from McGinnis, though.
Yes, it was. Right on the money. A little bit behind. As a matter of fact, a little hard. I think that's why Piatkowski had a difficult time. That was the old UCLA set where you pass the ball to the wing, set a back screen for the passer.
So Whitney guarded by McGinnis. His teammates briefly, and competitors. Popeye Jones misses, and hitting the offensive glass to no avail was Jahidi White. Nearly halfway through this third quarter, A 9-point lead. Olowokandi with the one-hander. And coming out of nowhere, trying to tip it, it was Fultz. Piatkowski gets it back on a careless play, and Piatkowski lays it in. So the Wizards turn it over and get burned.
Yeah, that was just a terrible decision by Jahidi White. You never pass the ball on the same plane, especially in traffic. Not only do you have the turnover, but it ends up in a basket.
Here's Alexander, and Alexander gets the two right back. So once again, it's a 9-point lead for the Clippers, who have won 6 of their last 7. Seek their first playoff berth since the 96-97 season. Right now, game and a half behind it. Olowokandi with a one-hander, and he has 18 to lead LA.
I like the effort by Washington. They definitely made some changes at halftime. They came out here with a purpose. They're playing much better defense. There's a lot of banging, and they're getting a chance here. The main thing is not to allow the Clippers to get control, total control.
Hamilton. And now the Clippers lead is 11. And Whitney is called for the bump foul on McGinnis. And it looked like he wasn't even trying to get to the ball. He wanted to get to McGinnis.
Look to the right of your screen. They just have great athleticism in the open floor. This second unit, the dynamite.
Sparked by the 6th and 7th men on this team. And remember, Corey Maggette and Lamar Odom out of action. Odom maybe for the rest of the year. So you can see how deep this Clipper team could be as they take a 16-point lead with 107 remaining in the third.
There's a guy that's been out majority of the years, missed over 50 games, and that is Dooling. Second-year player out of Missouri, backup point guard. Now we're talking about another very talented young man. And they are loaded here. They have 10 young kids here, and they have a low post game. They have a three-point shooting game. They block shots, and they run the floor. They're an exciting team. You can see the people love the action.
Under a minute remaining here in the third quarter, and the fans enjoying the Clippers' performance. And there is Nesby picking up his own rebound and the new shot clock for the Wizards. And blanketing defense by the Clippers. They are suffocating the Wizards out on the perimeter with 8 on the shot clock. And there is the feed to Thomas, who puts it in over Olowokandi with a half a minute remaining.
It's nice to see a front court guy finally get a field goal for Washington. This isn't like high school or college where you can win out on the perimeter and an occasional basket down low. The NBA, you've got to score inside out and have a presence.
Richardson driving in. And Quentin Richardson now with 9 off the bench. And the Wizards playing for the last shot of this third quarter. And the fans really loving it. Here is Lou going behind to Hamilton, who has Hamilton with 20-1 points, leading Washington.
Time here.
And McGinnis' shot, and that will do it. So the Wizards made a run, but when all is said and done, Alvin Gentry's Clippers lost only 1 point from their halftime lead. It is 76-62 after 3.
14-point Clipper lead. Haywood inside, trying to get the pass. Now he comes up with it. That's blocked inside. Gets it back. Kwame Brown now takes the jumper and misses strong. Goes inside, a lot of contact, no call. Ball on the floor, picked up by Richardson. He goes underneath to Miles, he throws it in.
He didn't have but about 2 seconds to get that shot off, and not only did he get it off in time, but he got it down.
16-point Clipper lead. And Richard Hamilton up off the Washington bench. We talked to Popeye Jones yesterday, asked him about a long plane ride out here. Alexander's shot is blocked, and how many block shots do these guys have? They're third in the league in blocks at almost 7 per game. Olowokandi scored. Largest lead of the game, 18 points. Kwame Brown, the jumper, that's no good. Richardson, the rebound. Guinness for Richardson, 7 to shoot. Tied up by Nesby, they'll call a jump ball. Nesby will jump it up to Quentin Richardson.
They just got it inbounds in time. 5 seconds in. McGinnis off the screen. Follow up. And there was Olowokandi now with 22 to lead L.A.
You would just love to see Olowokandi, give a consistent point production night in and night out. But he is capable, and we can see tonight he's playing with great confidence. 22
points and 9 rebounds as the Clippers come down with another steal thanks to their quickness. Jeff McGinnis.
Just so you know, this young guy Olowokandi averages 9 rebounds a game, 2 shot blocks, but he only averages 9 points, so he does run hot and cold.
McGinnis going back to Quentin Richardson, driving on Nesby, and scores! Quentin Richardson now with 11 points.
Great head fake, ball fake by Richardson to get the defensive man to commit.
Whitney swings it around to Nesby, misses a 3, and it goes out of bounds to the Clippers. And really, you could make a highlight reel over just about every basket the Clippers have tonight.
Yeah, Richardson, an excellent move, and then a high wire rack. That was a very hard shot. It looked easy. He made it look easy, but very difficult.
22-point lead for the Los Angeles Clippers. With nearly 5 minutes gone by in the fourth, and Olowokandi fouled by Brendan Haywood.
Brand driving on Kwame. Tough shot, good defense. But Olowokandi's there to clean the glass. And they'll reset with 6:27 to go in regulation. Sellout crowd applauds. It's their 7th consecutive sellout, 16th of the season. 20,282. Lou gets McGinnis turned around. Beautiful play. Boy, I know, Phil, you love to see that.
Left hand.
That's
now,
right.
You see he brings the ball towards the right, then switches it back to the left, keeping it as far away from the defender and the shot blocker, and that's why Candy couldn't get it.
You know how when you are growing up and your coach is always teaching you, you've got to learn how to shoot layups with your left hand if you're right-handed. And you always think to yourself, well, okay, but it doesn't really. That's where it makes a difference.
With nearly 5.5 remaining in this fourth quarter. Start of a 7-game road trip for the Wizards, 6 out west. Richardson finding Olowokandi. And the Wizards trying to make an inroad. Down by 22, their biggest margin. They cut it to 9 on a couple of occasions. And the basket, let's see who gets credit. Will it be Brown? And it will be Kwame Brown.
It's nice to finally see the front court get a field goal in the second half in the painted area against a defender. The only problem is you're down by 16 and you're inside of 5 minutes.
Quentin Richardson blocked by Brendan Haywood, and here ahead of the field is Hamilton with the jumper, and put through by Brown. And Washington on an 8-0 run make it to Haywood. That was Haywood with the basket. So the Wizards run off 8 in a row with under 4.5 to play.
Well, the people would like them to just pay attention right now and take good shots.
McGinnis takes a good shot and hits. He's in double figures tonight. And 6 Clippers in doubles this evening.
Yeah, McGinnis reads the screen and roll or screen and pop up. Well, he'll come off it. He tries to turn the corner. And if that defender is not there, he's going all the way. If he is, he has good range.
4 minutes to go. And here is Kwame Brown.
Nice.
Basket counts and a foul. And the question would be, where has that been?
Well, that you know he can do.
Comes in. There you see him, got him hooked right up underneath the arm, but he's able to shield it off with the left arm and shoot the ball with the right.
17 points in the game for Elton Brand. Tip up no good. Courtney Alexander knocks it out of bounds, and it will go to the Clippers with 3:04 to go. 11 rebounds. Michael Olowokandi.
Double figures tonight in an impressive performance as the Clippers win it 96-75 as we send it out to Cheryl Miller.
Well, Elton was number 4 in a row. The game that you wanted most. You got to be pleased with the team's effort at both ends of the court.
You know, very pleased, especially defensively. First half, we really jumped on top of them, and that's what we wanted to do. So we feel it's imperative to get this win, especially with a tough away game that's really at home against the Lakers.